Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, I'm doing a show and channel update. First of all, channel update. Well, actually, not so much my channel, but some other channels that I've been on recently. So, yeah, just wanted to let you know I've been on Dan's Off the Charts channel. Of course, I've been on his channel a few times, but I've been on his channel with two other channels. So basically, we came up with an idea of having four channels joining forces for one episode on Dan's Off the Charts. And we've called it the Kansas Connection, which is basically standing for Canada, New Zealand, and United States, because two of us are from New Zealand, one of us from Canada, and the other person from the United States. So we've got Dan from Canada, me and Keith and his channel Attack from Down Under. So we're New Zealand, and Kevin is from the Sonic Boom channel, and he represents the United States. So there we go. So that's how we came up with the name. It's called the Kansas Connection, and the first episode we've done is on Dan's Off the Charts channel, and we just called it an intro video. So go check that out. We did just a nice little chat, introducing ourselves and our channel, talking about our channels. So that was fun. I'll leave the link to that show in the description. Also, I've been on Crash Course Metal Show with Trevor Crash Knight, and we did I haven't been on his channel before. It was a really good discussion, really good chat, and our show was about, well, basically it was called Hair Metal in 4 albums. And what we were looking at was if we were going to give somebody an album that was new to hair metal, or we're trying to introduce hair metal to somebody, or wanted to give someone an album that we thought typified, is that a word, typified? Probably not. That was typical of hair metal, then this would be a good album for them to listen to. So I chose 2 albums. Trevor chose 2 albums. We just basically talked about those albums. I'm not going to reveal too much. Go check out the show. It's on his channel, Crash Course Metal Show, and I'll leave the link to that in the description. So yeah, always cool, going to other channels and having a chat with other people, especially people who have similar taste in music. There's a good chance if you're listening to you're watching my channel, you know about those channels already, but if you don't, go check them out. But also I wanted to do a show update. So I've done some shows recently, and that basic records have come in. I thought, oh, that would have been good for that show that I did. So I thought I'd do just a quick little update. Now, one show I did was bands that record a song more than once. Now, I'm actually going to do a part 2, but I thought I would just do an update on one band that I missed the first time around. And it's a real obvious one. And Dan from Off the Charts reminded me of the one I had forgotten, a very obvious one, and it was Rat. And there's a song from their Out of the Cellar album called Back for More, which they have recorded twice. So it was also on their debut EP, Back for More. So that was a pretty obvious miss. But here's the interesting thing, it was interesting to me. When Dan mentioned that to me, he also said, oh, the version I've got, actually, the EP has 7 tracks, and it also has You're in Trouble. You're in Trouble was also recorded on Out of the Cellar. So in actual fact, the EP has 2 songs on it that have been recorded more than once. Now, my EP only has the one track, only had the one track on it, Back for More. It didn't have that bonus track, You're in Trouble. And I thought, actually, I really would quite like to have that song. So I went off and I brought the Music for Nations version of the EP. So it has the Music for Nations copy of the EP has a different back cover. And my thinking was it would have You're in Trouble on it. However, unfortunately, not all Music for Nations versions have You're in Trouble on it. So I got the UK version, and the bonus track is only on the French and European version. So unfortunately, I've ended up getting this record again, and I still only have the 6 songs, not the 7. I can see why I made the mistake, because even the French and the European version, the back cover is exactly the same. Even though it's got 7 tracks, it only actually has 6 tracks listed on the back cover. It just has a sticker written here that tells you that it's got a bonus track on it. So that was a big reason I think that mistake happened. But so there we go. So I'm still yet to get the 7-track EP. I probably will still work on getting that at some point. At the moment, I've got 2 EPs that are pretty much identical, except that they have a different back cover. So this was Music for Nations, and the previous copy I had was Time Coast, I think it was Time Coast Records. Yeah, so that was the version I had previously. That leads on to my next update, show update, and I did a show. Song title is the name of the band, and I've done 2 parts for that, so I'm not going to do another part. But a record came in recently that would have been a good one to mention for that. So basically, I did a show where the song title is also the name of the band, and I got a record in recently called Virgin Steel. Here it is. This is their debut album, and interestingly enough, this is Music for Nations as well. In fact, this is Music for Nations number 1. And what's the Rat EP? Music for Nations number 2. So there we go. I've got number 1 and number 2 now. I don't know what number 3 is, but maybe I've got that as well, but who knows. And I do know some people do like to collect the Music for Nations catalogue. But anyway, so this is Music for Nations number 1. It's Virgin Steel, their debut album, and the last track on the album is a song called Virgin Steel. So there we go. So it's another example of name of the band is also a song title. And of course, Virgin Steel also, they've got Jack Starr on guitar. He's quite a well-known guitarist. He goes on, I think he's only in the band for a couple of albums, then he goes on and he does a solo album, and he does Burning Star, but yeah, he's on guitar. Last one I wanted to do a show update on is I did a show called Heavy Metal or Hair Metal Lyrics. How bad are they? And an album came in recently where I think the lyrics kind of would have been, well, this particular song and the lyrics would have been a good example for that show. Now the band I'm talking about, slightly obscure. I think they're a German band. They're called High Tension, and this is an album called Masters of Madness. And yeah, fairly obscure. It came out in 1987. Here the guys are. Here they all are. Quite an interesting look they've got going on there. Here they are at the back. Trying to look all cool. But they've got a song on here called Sweet 14. And yeah, it's kind of like what you might be thinking. So it's about a 14-year-old girl. And although, nothing specific is said, the lyrics go like this. She was 14, sweet 14, and she looked so sweet. And I was a helpless man. She was 14, helpless 14, a teenage queen. I know it's not like yesterday when I got to drive. So I think, obviously, they're a German band and they're doing English, which I've talked before about. I know that Doro, when she started off with Warlock in particular, that transferring the German to the English is probably more of a second language. And I guess maybe with High Tension, it's could be a bit of an issue, because it's not just this song. Their lyrics are a little bit. Scorpions had a similar thing, right? The lyrics maybe not quite always making sense or being grammatically correct, but yeah. So that's just an example there. Sweet 14, but actually pretty interesting. Pretty interesting band, pretty good band. I mean, that good melodic metal that came out from those German bands in the 80s. It's pretty good. They've got a few albums. It's the only one I've got in my collection at the moment, but I would be interested in getting some more. Yeah, like I said, I mean, with lyrically on that song, nothing specifically. You don't necessarily know what's going on, but it's hinted at pretty well there, I think. But anyway, just wanted to mention that as soon as I'm doing a bit of a a show update. And that's pretty much it for this week, or for today anyway. Just a show and channel update. I'll be back soon with, I've got some other shows planned. It's just a matter of putting the time aside to do them. Thanks again, everyone who comments and hits the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you like this kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're made aware of when I do put out a new show. All right, that's it for now. We'll catch you later. See ya.